We'll start.
You want an investment edge, but all you hear is noise, hype, and half-truths. Every signal is solid information, but only if you can see the bigger picture. This is where the Quasar magic happens. Weather, charts, news, all financial signals, funneled into a single dashboard. Data alone isn't enough. Quasar Markets turns it into energy, sharp, clear, precise. Optimize with Quasar Markets today, your edge when investing.
Good morning, Quasar family. It's Friday, October 3rd. Futures are grinding higher after record closes for the S&P and NASDAQ. Gold's firm and oil's trying to bounce into the weekend. And the big wrinkle is the federal shutdown means no jobs reports, so ISM services at 10 becomes the main event. We also have a refinery fire in California to discuss. I'm going to bring him in, my co-pilot, the one and only BigBeat. What's going on today, my friend?
You know, Hondo, there's so much frothiness in this market that it just throws me for a loop why the market continues to push higher. I mean, it reminds me of Maynard Keynes, John Maynard Keynes, saying the market can be irrational longer than we can say solve it. Okay. I can't see where this money is coming from. Where is the money coming from? Why? If money is sitting on the sidelines, at this point, the highest in history, $7.7 trillion is now sitting in money markets, which is money coming, will come back in the market's great, right? But are we in this whole thing of don't fight the Fed. Okay, great. The Fed's telling you, Goolsbee, who wants to actually cut rates, is saying, maybe we shouldn't because job losses are picking up. Market keeps pushing higher. Market continues to push higher, continues to push higher, and continues to push higher. But we're not pushing higher like it's, 1,000-point J every day the upside. No, it just continues to, just as you said, grinding higher. And I've said this several times, kind of like the Price is Right, that mountaineer going up the side of the mountain and then just going to fall off because there's just nothing else to hold this candy wrapper up. So look, I get it. I understand people are excited. Even I'm happy. Look, I'm still long. Don't get me wrong, I'm still long, but my trading is not. I am definitely not long in the trading. I am definitely just long in my overall long-term portfolios, as everybody should be, but not in the normal trading portfolio. I just don't believe it. And we talked about this a couple days ago. Tesla, you know, I was wrong a little bit there, but look at Tesla the next day, right? I mean, 480 to 440. 10% drop, and that's what's going to happen in the overall markets, folks. That's why I'm saying this, right? That's why I'm like going, hey, you know what? Be careful out there. It's going to do this. And that's why I'm saying it. But yeah, go ahead, Hondo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because, a day like yesterday, all of those retail players killed it. So where's the money going to come from for the next couple of weeks? They just made it. And they've been doing that. It's been interesting to watch. Retail has been, playing at the casino, and so far they're winning. And I do think that's where some of this cash is coming from. And then secondly, I don't think there's much money overseas. I think there's a lot of overseas money that is parked here in the U.S., whether it be in because money markets are deceiving a little bit. And part of that is what I mean is when you take in the stable coins around the globe that are now being held by Venezuelan citizens and Colombian citizens and these countries that have triple digit inflation, that is inflating some of these money markets because it's these these tokenized treasury products from BlackRock like BITL that are really getting a lot of that money. So something to see here. Steve, rates are steady, 10-year around the low 4s, 2 years, mid 3s with BLS dark. The market's leaning on Fed cut odds and corporate strength to carry the bid. When you see new highs with blackout data, do you start to lean into that momentum or fade it?
That's a very good question. The Fed seems to be discombobulated, and that's a big word. That's a 50-cent word, right? I don't know. It's what my friend JC Peretz always says. I don't even know what I had for breakfast, much less what the Fed's going to do, right? They seem to be way out of joint. We've got a Fed governors that are not talking to each other. They had been very clear, and they had been very much in cahoots over the last 3 years. But this last year, politics has seeped into it. Lisa Cook escaped by her chinny chin chin. Trump got his pick in there that's working in the White House and at the Fed. This is not a normal Fed, folks. This is not one that we understand. And if you understand this Fed, you're a liar. Because quite frankly, nobody understands this Fed. They don't understand what's going on. Even the Fed doesn't understand this Fed. Even Powell doesn't understand this Fed. And yet he knows he's out in March. So let's be honest. I can't tell you. Do I think another Fed cut's coming? Absolutely. I think 2 more. But that's politically motivated. I don't think it's based on the economy and what really needs to happen. Now, I have been very adamant about cutting rates back in January, March, June, July, September, October. And of course, the next one has to be here in October and then December.
Yeah, they have, and it is priced in 97% for October, 86% for December odds right now. So as you said, it does seem.
Jules just said this morning that he doesn't like this front running of the cuts. He's saying the market's over its skis. That's what he's saying. They said they don't see him.
Yeah, but when push comes to shove, he like the rest have fallen in line, and it really matters what Powell says. In my personal opinion, right now, he's still in the same spot.
100%.
We do have ISM at 10 o'clock, Steve, something that you usually watch, but not many others do. This is the key print with the blackout on the non-farm payrolls today. What are you looking for ISM? Anything in there you're looking for?
Well, the president says he wants a manufacturing country. So let's see if we did it. We are seeing a lot of manufacturing starting up again here in the country. To me, okay, it's great. Put people to work, and I love that. Everybody here knows I'm a big fan of jobs and getting people to work. But is it putting the country back to work in a way that we need to go back to work? There are a lot of people that are out of jobs, but let's hope this I don't believe in hope and luck and prayers. And when it comes to the markets, I do believe in the real world, but not in the market world. There's a disconnect here. When we look at manufacturing is always the ISM numbers. I should say, sorry. ISM numbers are always a lagging indicator. But I want to know, is in that lagging indicator is the jobs number, which we won't see today, does it match manufacturing, right? So if the jobs are coming out in services, okay, we know which direction to go when we invest. if manufacturing jobs are coming back, yeah, there you go. There, exactly. I'm sorry, I didn't even see that headline. There you go. Exactly. I want to see whether or not
Those are the two things I want to see: new orders and employment sub-index, because it will be the only one we sort of get there today. So I am interested with that myself. That's going to come out at 10 o'clock. Expected to come in around 52, which is fairly neutral. Not a ton going into that one way or the other. I do want to just warn everybody that what you will see, CPI risk, inflation data could be delayed or missed. And we've got to start talking about, we're still there. Government shutdown, Steve. We've lived through this. This is going to be a 10, in my personal opinion, a 10+ day shutdown. Where do you see it?
Kalshi says 29 days.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Where you think it is, though. Historically, markets look through brief shutdowns, but confidence takes a hit if it drags.
Republicans and Democrats are saying they don't care about the president's cutting jobs in the government. They're going to dig their heels in all the way through. They don't want Obamacare to go away because too many healthcare is more important than jobs. All right, well, they're digging their heels in. Schumer said that several times. We saw Hakeem Jeffries, and then the president put Hakeem Jeffries in a Mexican hat. So the rhetoric has not been toned down. It's gotten worse. So no, I think Kalshi might be right. This might be a longer term shutdown.
If the CPI timing becomes uncertain, do you raise cash, rotate to defensive gold, or stay long AI beta? What's the plan?
Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin.
Okay, there you go. So that goes to defensive gold in my mind. Right, but yeah, I mean, I know you've gone definitely bullish on crypto again. Did you sell any coming into this rush up into 120?
I did not. And I'm shocked because I said that I would sell some at 118 and I did not. I just felt that the run was too hard. And every dip that was being by institutions was being pushed by other people. And I like that. And you were right, Howard. So I stuck to my guns, stuck to you, listening to you, and it ran up. So I'm still long. I'm not even in my trading crypto, I'm still long. So I'm not even stopping here.
I am looking here today to see what happens. So, we're at a crossroads now. It made its run. It's pulled back a little bit. It needed to get over 120 to cause maximum pain on the bears on the weekly expiries. So it did that. So it crushed the bears. So again, when you say, who won this week, the bulls definitely won after 2 weeks of them taking beatings. If we can trade sideways here, I'm definitely watching for the alts. So,
all right. Standard Charter just came out, says that Jeff Kendrick from Standard Charter says Bitcoin could hit a new record if the U.S. government shutdown drags on, up to 135,000 and then 200,000 by year end.
Wow. I won't argue with that. It is, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. I'm not as bullish. It is changing. What I have to see is on this run up, what happens at 120? In other words, the selling yesterday, was that whales redistributing, or are the whales holding and that was just profit taken from others? Because if it's the whales distributing, we're still in the same setup where we're going to be a little bit more range stuck because they will push the price down as they want to. And if they didn't distribute into this, hold on to your hats and get ready, like you're saying, for 135, and then.
But I understand a lot of this was ETF inflow. Is that correct?
Exactly. So that's why we now have to see, because ETFs bought in, institutions were behind. They had been out, a lot of them. They took hedges off. They killed it. Again, what I want to point out is a lot of institutions had bearish hedges on that came off, as we know, last week, right? Largest expiry in the history of crypto. Those hedges come off. That allows it to run. That's what happened last night. You look, it hit 120, stayed over 120 just long enough for those expiries on the weekly, and then it pulled back. And what I'm bullish about is 119 bounced really nicely from there, right back above 120. So looking good. Let's get into the equities here, Steve. The Qs are set up right now to open up about 8 basis points, 7 basis points. Dow Jones slightly up on the open with no real data. Do you think do we have room to run today?
It's Friday. I don't think so. I don't know where to go here. I understand that the bias is to the upside. My bias is to the downside. and I just can't seem to put that move. Now, listen, I'm going to trade today. I like this setup for Tesla again. I think we might do it again today. The Apple sell-off is interesting. I think you asked me earlier today if I'm going to buy Apple on this dip. I think the answer is no. So, and Apple is what holds up most of the market, right? Apple, NVIDIA, the Mag 7. So I don't know. I mean, NVIDIA is interesting here to me. But I personally, I don't know. I just can't see anything I really want to play here today. I mean, if anything, I want to play NVIDIA to the downside. I mean, it's way out of whack. A market. If I told you the market cap of NVIDIA is $4.6 trillion.
Yeah,
4.6 trillion. I mean, what? I mean, that it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, did you see our man Jeff Bezos warn that AI right now is an industrial bubble? It's going to be real and transformative. Had it, made clear to say what it's going to do in the future is amazing.
I agree.
But
he's right, but it's too soon.
Right, just a little too soon.
I mean, you look at the .com issue, and it's the same situation, right? .com was the same way. It was a bubble, and a lot of companies that didn't make it through that. I mean, I talk about this all the time. Amazon wasn't around during the .com bubble. There's a lot of companies that they weren't even around that time. So, yeah.
Steve, getting into commodities and energy here today. We got Chevron El Segundo, a large refinery on the West Coast, had a major fire overnight. Thankfully, no injuries reported, but the market angle is to keep an eye on West Coast gasoline and jet fuel cracks. Localized tightness can show up fast, even if crude is soft. Oil keeps coming down here, Steve. Where does it bottom out?
$60.
Think that's the bottom?
Yeah, I mean, it's oil is. You will start to see OPEC not happy. You'll start to see EIA not happy. You'll start to see Jody numbers not happy. And by the way, in Quasar markets, all three of those data points are all inside of Quasar markets. You can actually talk to the databases through the AI on those three databases. And $60 is where it's at. You can see it pop a little bit today, but 60 is where it's at. Anytime anything under 60 is usually a to stop here.
And Steve, as we said, gold just continuing to move to the upside here, 38.77. We know that our man Peter Thomas says by the end of next year, look for 5,000. He could be way off. It could be done by July of next year. Steve had to step away here for a second. Sorry about that. Silver at 47.67 here. And we are 10 minutes from the open. Tick is slightly down about 85 here. It's been trending slightly lower here over the last 20, 30 minutes, not going to lie. Advanced decline, though, is up towards the high of the day, 2,184 to the upside. I think cash market open here is going to tell us a lot in that first 20 minutes, right? If it does hold up here, I think we just take off from there. If we do see us start off to the upside, then I worry about the rug pull in the afternoon. As we look at the Mag 7, Steve mentioned it, NVIDIA right now, a $4.6 trillion company. He might be looking to short it. That's surprising. Steve's not usually a short guy on NVIDIA. Apple just got downgraded by Jefferies overnight. A little bit of a drop. Asked Steve if he was a buyer. He is not yet. Not good enough of a pullback for me either, I don't think yet. If we had seen a 3, 4, 5% drop, something down towards that, maybe even fill the gap to 245, I definitely would have been very interested in adding to a longer-term position. But just on a 1.27% pullback, being this close to all-time highs again, worries me a little bit. Microsoft is flat on the morning so far, still fighting to hold its 50-day MA here. I do think that Microsoft's the one maybe in the Mag 7 that's got a little bit more upward momentum than the others, or an upward potential, I should say, here on the shorter term. Looking at Google, down about 34 basis points here overnight. Amazon slightly up. Amazon did bounce nicely off of the 200-day MA here, recovered itself in the bottom of linear regression, looking better. Meta trying to break back into linear regression, still struggling a little bit. Steve said Tesla up there today. I think you're more looking if it hits that 470, 445 area is where I'd be looking to short it from, that 445. And then Netflix is up slightly after having a pretty rough go of it over the last 2 days. So I see Steve's back here. Steve, anything else you're watching besides the Mag 7 on the open? Anything here? We didn't really talk about it. Some of the bigger moves to the upside, Rumble on their connection and partnership with Perplexity, having a pretty good move to the upside here today.
My eye is still on Intel.
Okay.
I think Intel's way out of whack.
Up at 37.20 here, so looking to set a 52-week high earlier here. Steve, you still think it's overpriced here?
Could be, yep.
Okay. Other movers and shakers this morning, the White House picking winners and losers again, as USAR, which is USA Rare Earth, announces that they had meetings or talks with the White House, now up 15.5% after being up 23%. So a nice little almost 40% gain. Man, Stevie, we got to get our contacts in White House together. Let us know who the president's got on the schedule, because you can make a lot of money on that.
I mean, opensecrets.com or .org, whatever it is, Open Secrets, figure out what's going on there.
I mean, that's just insane. Quantum computing not dead anymore, I guess. Qubit up 8% here this morning. Rigetti up 4.52. So those names bouncing to the upside also. Credo up about 6% over the last 2 days. Steve, they are acquiring, I forget the name of the corporate company, but to help with their AI bottlenecks, they are actually buying a company that's going to work with that. Give me 1 second here. I do have it.
There's a nice little push on Bitcoin there.
Yeah, like I said, it's been running really well today so far. Crypto stocks too have been just insane. Circle, we had a huge win on Circle on this run up here that it's had over the last week on a covered call that turned into a condor.
Gold at 38.83 again. Silver 47.74, almost 48 again.
Steve, one I haven't talked to you about lately. How about Coinbase? You weren't a buyer on that dip there, buddy.
Still not.
They are now back up at a $95 billion company. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you're not bullish on them, Steve. I really don't. They're about to become a stock trading company. So they're now going to compete in the stock trading. The new SEC is giving them, a run straight at the big boys.
The question mark that is for me is, okay, so I have, if you have a Coinbase account, are you going to take your crypto and start and flip it over into stocks? I don't think the answer is yes.
It's not so much that you're going to flip your crypto over there, but one platform, man. Why is Robinhood? And again, the other one I don't talk to you about, but I've been in for a while, is Robinhood at 145.70. These super apps, Steve, they could be the Meta and the Facebook of the new generation. These super apps that they're doing, where you're going to be able to stake, because what you're going to be able to do, Steve, is you're going to be able to, in a short amount of time, take the Bitcoin that you own, use it as collateral, and use that money in the world to DeFi or do whatever you want with it.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I just don't understand. I don't know if they are or not. That's my question. I just don't know.
Yeah.
You know
They're
what?
going to. The question is going to be is, with the political landscape, what happens in 2.5, 3 years is what you have to have that concern.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I really can't. But I think the smart trade here is being in front of me right now. It could be going long Tesla here.
Going long Tesla. Oh, you were saying short it. Now you're saying long it. I love it.
All right. And I think the reason being here is that
But VWAP, they just had good deliveries, although those deliveries sort of discounted on the fact that we know it ended the tax breaks on it.
I think it could have a nice little run back to 450, 445, 450s, in that range. And the numbers, I'm pretty heavy, as you know, when I go on Tesla. So it's an easy move, quick move. Man. So I think Warren Buffett's done for a while, right? And I think on Occidental, I think the CEO said that they were done for a little while, right?
What do you mean by done? Like no more?
Nope, no more big deals.
Yeah. Occidental's up though on other news. It had to do with. Shoot, give me 1 second. I'll tell you there. Upgrades on shale strength and the balance sheet boost that did come from the sell-off to Mr. Buffett there.
Right. Yeah. AMD has been a nice little run over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving to the upside here. That one looks like it wants to run today. I'll tell you what, I like the way that chart looks a lot for a breakout today.
I think I'm gonna let the market open here a little bit. Let the cash kids come out first.
I do think that AMD is looking real nice. Bounce right off the 50-day MA here, moving to the upside. Just broke through VWAP. We're coming into the market open. If it breaks 172, you're looking for a nice little run towards 180, 186. Chart, you're triggering all three buy signals on the B4 indicator there. That thing is set to go. I might take a look at something there.
Here reports from Live Squawk this morning. When will the shutdown end? It says if it lasts through October the 17th, 750,000 furloughed workers will be classified as unemployed on the temporary layoff. Yeah.
Yeah, it will affect those numbers. I've been reading more and more about Vought. How do you say his name over at OMB?
Oh, Vought, yeah.
Man, he's about to fire everybody.
He hates big government. That's his
yeah,
thing.
Man. I didn't know. I had not really paid attention to him. But yeah, one of the
have a government to take care of people. Nobody wants to make a phone call to Social Security and get a recording, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, no one here to help you with your Social Security. Oh, sorry, you wanted an FDA inspector for your meat. Sorry, you just died. Sorry, the weather is not important enough to you, so we're gonna fire.
We are open. Let's see what we get here. I am watching AMD here personally. I do think I might go a little 0 DTE on it if it starts to show a little strong.
All right.
First moves to the downside. to give it a shot here. I am in. Let's see what we get on AMD here today. I just bought a little small little option on the 170.
I am watching Tesla pretty closely here. It could be a run to the upside here a little bit. Oh, that's a bullshit buy.
Initial tick here is to the downside. Advanced declines comes in at 29.56, so nicely to the upside. We will have Mr. Flanagan on in a bit, but 97.73 on the DXY cannot be making him too happy today.
Hey, yeah, baby, yeah. Look at that on Mr. Tesla.
Tesla, there you go. Nice move to the upside.
And I will take that off. I had a feeling that was what was going to happen. Wow, that's a nice run there. Yes! Woohoo!
Nice move to the upside.
Nice. I look at the Qs jumping a little bit too. I had a feeling that was what's happening. The sell-off was a little rough yesterday. So, oh, look at that. Oh, that's a very nice number there.
Qs right back above VWAP here, looking nice. There goes AMD for me. Come on, baby.
Canada's S&P Global Services PMI coming in at 40. Oh, too fast for me there. 46.3 versus 48.6. So Canada's Services PMI coming down even less than expected. That's not good. That's really not good at all, actually.
Q's at 606.94, still moving a little bit to the upside, struggling to break through VWAP here. So we're not seeing it. A strong move one way or the other, tick fairly neutral.
Thanks, Marilyn. Yeah. You know, it's like I don't have a problem, and Howard will tell you, I can change my mind very quickly. I look at the markets, and it's one of my rules.
Lay the hand in front of you. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, I may not like this market pushing up like this. It's not good for a lot of people, but truth of the matter is, that's what's going on. So you got to play in front of you. And now that I'm out, but sitting on the sideline for a little bit. WTI is 60.66 now. Silver 47.55. So a lot of profit taking going on right about now.
Those of you that are in copper with us, you're very happy right now. 31.03. So we are now, since we made that call here on Quasar, up 12.75%.
Agreed.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for that. Robinhood 146.76 here. We're up 53% since that call out. Same thing since I called out UNH, up 25.35% there. Like we said, we're not out of the market. We're just picking and choosing the winners. Trying. On the other side of that, my Gemini not looking so great. Do see outside of XLC, which is communications, rest of the sectors of the S&P opening up in the green here and staying in the green. Yeah, Marilyn, loving that copper. Absolutely. Bitcoin 125.76 here again. I would love to just see a trade in this 120 area and then see some of the alts that really had been down, beaten up over the last couple of weeks, start to move to the upside following it. But right now you have Bitcoin and ETH sort of sucking up most of the wind there.
Yeah, Tesla slipping here.
NVIDIA going to challenge 190 here, Steve. They broke 190 earlier today. Man, I tell you what, I should have bought that Apple dip. Up 0.7%. Yeah, that was easy too. I don't know why. That wouldn't have been a bad little move there. Broadband up 1.47% here. Nice move to the upside. 1.5 looks like it wants to run here. If it can break through that 344.55 area, watch for that to really run here. Broadband's had a lot of
Tesla slipping, still. Apple's flat on the day. Bitcoin's holding
That's
up.
what I said. It was actually up 0.7 of a percentage point. I mean, that's the dip I should have bought. I said it, and it did do it. Just for a quick scalp, I should have looked at it. My mind was around long-term accumulation, not about scalp. My mistake.
Tesla could go long again.
Clean spark up another 5.81% here. 1605. Nice run up here. Core Scientific up, Mara up almost another 3%, back towards $20.
New Governor Miran now says, I don't think neutral rate is 0.
They do have Fed talk all. Yeah, here's your schedule.
They can't help themselves, can they?
Across the bottom of the screen. And everybody, do us a favor. Hit the like button, follow button, share this stream, help us reach more retail traders. We do appreciate it if you would.
607 again on QQQ.
Tick now taken off up 232, advanced decline 35. So like I said, it does look like we are set to move to the upside on a bigger way. Dow Jones up 34 basis points now. Man, Steve, we're coming up on 47K. We just broke 46 for the first time, in the last, 2 weeks.
Silly.
SPY up 26 basis points here. Q's up 22 basis points. And the small caps up 76 basis points here. 24.77. The run is up 32.7% in 6 months.
Tick up 300 now.
Bitcoin unable to break to the upside. Ethereum's got to break that 2,500 handle. If it does, it's got some nice room to the upside. Still moving up.
Nike's slipping a bit here.
Costco also. That's what I was sort of watching here is Costco.
AI C3 is up 2.5% here at 1871. Nice little buy down there if you picked it up back in the about a month ago.
Robinhood 148.26. Steve up another 1.8% here.
Man, Nvidia at 190.21.
That's what I mean. JP Morgan up 1% today too. Those things were down a little bit. Financials got hurt most of the week. Looking to bounce back here today.
How about UNH at 358 here?
I said that a little earlier. Up 23%, up 24% since my call out on UNH. Tell you in a second. Up 25.62% since I called out my UNH buy. Steve, take a look at Mercado Libre. Been hurt the last couple of trading sessions here. This might be one we might want to look at.
Those of you know me and Howard, I love Melly. Back in the day, during COVID. I loved it at under 1,000. I believe it got down to 750, somewhere around there. We were really buying the heck out of it, and I like this run. The first run was good, and then of course the second run over the last few years has been very good. For those of you who don't know what Meli is, it's the Amazon of Latin America, but I think the economy is not good down there, so I have to be careful there on this one.
I'm still keeping an eye on it for sure. You go, Rocket Lab.
Tesla 439 here. Am I making a mistake by not shorting it here? Oh, look at that short. Oh, the Q's just getting slaughtered here.
Which is interesting because the tick's positive. So is that one of the Mag 7? That's Google. Google down one. Google getting hit real hard here, down 1.45% for some reason. Google just
the institutions are dumping. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, retail's buying, but institutions are dumping. They're like, okay, thank you. Oh, Fed's mirror and says inflation expectations are reasonably well anchored. All right, the president's people are not even listening to him anymore. Okay.
Oh, he's listening. He's going to talk whatever he wants, but he's going to vote with.
All right. I'm going to buy Tesla again down here on this dip.
Oh, let me get it on the screen. 439.07.
All right, I long here. Uh, 438.90 is where I'm in. Might be a little bit. There we go. There we go again. Oh, and taking that profit and running, Howard.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
NVIDIA struggling to hold over that 190, Steve. That could start to be a spot to look for shorts. That continues to play up. Man, Robinhood now up 1.7%, continues just to move to the upside. Copper, same thing. Copper up another percent. Coinbase challenging 380 here, Steve, up 15% since I called that one out.
Okay, I think I'm kind of done for the day, my man. That was two good plays there on Tesla. Thank you, Mr. Musk. Well, look.
I love it. I love it. Gold 38.86, continuing to move to the upside here. Steve, silver 47, almost 80 here. I think it looks like we'll break 48.
Citron's pumping TDOC. Teledoc. Teledoc up 7% here. I don't disagree with it. I think Teledoc could be bought out, actually. U.S. services PMI now coming in at 54.2, a little bit better than the 53.9 we expected there. So that's a little bit better, I think.
Absolutely.
Services PMI, it really helps Apple. I mean, that's what they're saying, right? Services. And you're seeing Apple jumping here to 57.71 here now. Q's trying again. Back at that VWAP line there. It's 200 on the 1 minute.
Tick 290. So again, strength coming back. Q's, while it's below the VWAP, came off the lows of the day, starting to bounce back to the upside. NVIDIA trying to break 190 again here. That's sort of going to be the key there.
Tesla slipping again. Wow, that was a break to the downside again. Tesla's just sheer amount of volume on Tesla.
And that Apple would have been a 2% move already to the upside. Wow. From the lows of the day.
There goes the Q, 607.02, 607.04 again.
So, I mean, just broke through VWAP. I think we want to run. I do. I think lack of data is retail's loving it.
How about going with the special dividend on GME, GameStop?
Yeah, you know, he's doing something. Yeah, listen, got to spend that Bitcoin money somewhere, right?
Right.
You know, so I can't argue there. I bet down about 33 basis points. So the cash market today, we're not seeing inflows in, but we're also not seeing profit taking. So that's a pretty good sign for Bitcoin. You know, not seeing
UNH 359.
It's just slowly doing its thing.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the case.
Yeah, it's just slowly doing its thing.
What about Oracle?
It's been getting hit so hard. I didn't look today. At some point, I do think I become interested there because I'm looking for value for like shorter term swing plays. I do think Oracle looks pretty good here. So I'm not going to lie. Oracle's one I am looking at sort of as a little bit of a Q4 swing here before the you-know-what hits the fan.
Yeah. Firefly, FLY, 2730 now, up a little bit today. So might be finding
stabilized, yeah.
Stabilizing, yeah.
I'm with you there.
They lost a rocket. That's what happened there. So.
You can see, yeah, they lost a rocket, but they're still going to be a big part of what happens. I'm with you. Remember, I asked you when it took the drop there. That one's starting to look interesting. In fact, that one's looking interesting to me here.
I like it here, down here, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go long fly.
You know what? I'll go with you.
And I'm just going to buy shares because this is for a medium term type of thing. I see you bought before I did because you moved the price. I should have done my order before I let you get yours in, but I am in. I'm just joking. I got in on my limit order.
Not too bad. 27.48 to where I'm at.
I beat you 27.38. Look at
All
that.
right. See, there you go.
I'm already up 62%, 62 basis points. If I was you at your size, I'd already be out of the trade. You would already be telling me I missed it.
I'm starting to look at this. Oh my God, look at that. 27.70. Look at that. Come on, baby.
We moved the market. There you go. He's going to be out of this trade in 30 seconds. I'm going to be in it for 6 weeks. It's up 1.15% from my entry.
Hey, I like this. Look at this. This is a nice move here.
Yeah, I think, I would, I wanted it on the dip, but I listened to you, luckily, and waited for it to sort of bottom out here. And I like it from this spot. So again, folks, that's FLY. FLY is what we're looking at.
And I had to quietly 27.80. Look at that. 82. Those of you who are listening in, look at that. Nice little purchase.
Yeah, 1.55% already.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Howard, I took my profit and ran.
You kill me. I'm okay with that. I'm in for the longer term here.
This was a nice little run here this morning, and I like this. This is wow. 27.89, Howard. Look at that.
Yeah. I will say if it goes up 2%, I will probably get out of it also, because again, it's just too fast, too quick. You got to take your money and run on something.
I like this run though, Howard. 27.90. I like this run. 27.91, Howard.
Yeah, I do like it.
I mean, look at the buys coming in. Did we do it, Howard? Did we set the market here?
We did. 27.91, up 1.61% since we called it out here.
Well, I'm definitely a happy camper. I made 3 trades today live. Maryland's in fly too as well. Look at that.
There you go. I love it, Maryland. Maryland was in Solana with me, I believe.
Oh, then she's a happy camper. She's gonna have a nice vacation.
I believe that she was in the Solana trade.
Down here on the QC. Oh, 27.90 on fly. Look at that. People are 93 is the high of the day. 98 is the high of the day. There it is. 27.98. Congrats, everybody. Wow.
2.2%, and I'm selling half my position. Gonna hold the other half. Gonna hold the other half.
Look at that. Well done, everybody.
I will take 2% and run with that half. Hold the other half. Stays in my long term.
There you go. Put that.
I love it.
A kid's college education. 126, 27.99. Now the highs of the day on fly. Still pushing to the upside. Could be short recovery now. It looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are long here, I would say put in a stop loss just to cover your butts, just in case, because we are now everybody's in the profit, so protect yourself a little bit. Look at Bitcoin now 120, 125 now here, so yeah. Q's dropping here a little bit.
There you go. XRP, yep, also moving up. It hasn't done the big jump Maryland we needed.
I will see Brad Garlinghouse this weekend. Howard.
Nice. Ripple is, Ripple, part of the play there is, unfortunately, the government shutdown stopped it. Both Solana and XRP ETFs are set to pass through the SEC. They're being delayed, and our play on both of those was based upon once the SEC comes back to work, those will pass. And for Solana, they allow staking of Solana in the ETFs at 7 to 10%. That will be a big dividend sort of play for a lot of people.
Tesla 437. It might actually go negative in the day. Q's now 606.47. It seems like there's a lot of zero DTEs coming in. Trump's Prime Minister Carney will meet Trump in Washington on the 7th. Hopefully things will thaw out between the United States and Canada. That would be nice. Get back to normal here. Although what is normal, right? Wow, it's a heck of a day here so far.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, dang.
Qs are down about, well, we're still up, but they've come to sort of lows of the day. 606.06 is the low. Break below 606. You could have downside of 602, 603 area. Dow Jones continuing to move to the upside. RUT continuing to move to the upside. So small cap is moving the needle today up 1.11%. That's why we see advanced decline over 4,200 here today. And that has not pulled back. So we're seeing a move away from the big names and into the smaller names. Steve, you surprised by that?
Nope, not at all.
That being said, financials really strong today. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Morgan Stanley all up more than 1% on the day. As we said, chip side, NVIDIA is pulling back to earth. AVGO and TSM still up over a percentage point, along with Qualcomm. Micron, nice little move up 2% here today. Bitcoin 1,2600 here, so trying to make a move to the upside.
Should have another run here and fly.
Yeah, it looks like it is poised.
Yep.
Crypto not moving to the upside so far. Couple of alts looking too, but it's not really moving. Huge big hit there over the last minute or so.
Let's bring Steve Flanagan in. We have a meeting at 10 o'clock, Howard. Let's bring Steve Flanagan in and let's talk to him about what's going on and get to the next meeting.
You got it. Steve Flanagan, how are you doing today, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing well, guys. Sideways move, a melt up in equities and a melting down in the dollar, continuing along with the trend. Lower dollar, more and more people talking about this blueprint of the U.S. administration. You see it in all the articles now that they're interested in a devaluing of the dollar. Okay, if that's the case, how come I'm
That's
not
your
moving?
boy, though. That's your boy, Flanagan. Come on, man.
Oh, uh-oh. He leaves on that now. That he got disconnected, Mr. Flanagan. I'm sure we'll be right back. He never ducks a question.
Never. I've known him too long to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a funny one. Qs at the lows of the day broke below that 606. So I am looking now at a little bit of a downside here.
Steve loses internet over there.
It looks like he did. Let's see if he gets back in.
There he goes back.
There he is.
I
They're trying to silence the man himself, the legend, Stephen Flanagan. I think it's Jamie Dimon. He doesn't want you spreading his secrets.
I don't know. Maybe I've just revealed the secret here. I mean, like I was ending there, the dollar. If this is in case the play, then why isn't the dollar substantially lower? If you look at the April to roughly June move, it's been an absolute sideways trade ever since. So I always get a little suspicious when I begin to see sideways trading, because it means you've reached an equilibrium where sellers and buyers are equaling out. And I look for the break points. Right now, the dollar index is closing lower on the week at 97.70. We're below the 98.18 level. The only thing I would say is September, the Q3 close is 97.77. So we're right on that number.
Yeah.
And we are entering into Q4. So if you're looking for tight risk management, you get above 97.80. The play is to look to, I wouldn't want to be short the dollar index down here.
Right. I would definitely not be short. Yeah.
I am definitely in the minority because the market is overwhelmingly bearish on the dollar for a variety of the reasons. But the guy I like at the Fed, Goolsby, came out and said, hey, the data is not necessarily showing inflation as a result of tariffs. So, this is a guy who's got a leading edge of technology within the Fed. And I do follow him carefully because he seems, of them all, to be, the guy on the mark. So,
and I do, guys. I need to run. I have a meeting to go to. I'll see you in a little bit, boys. But Steve, I'll see you on next week, my man.
Yeah, have a great weekend, Steve.
All right, bye.
Uh-oh. Oh. There you go. You're back, Steve. Uh-oh. Steve, you with me?
With you.
What did I do?
Hello.
I seem to have lost you. Hold it 1 second.
Okay.
Your camera's not showing for me. Is it showing for you? It might be just my screen.
Yes, it is.
Okay, then let's go for it.
Okay. So, the news we talked about throughout the week was buy gold, silver, and buy crypto. And a byproduct, the U.S. equity market is continuing to melt up. So the correlations are when these markets move up, the dollar moves lower. So that's still in effect.
Okay, I love it. What else are we watching for the weekend, or do you think no data actually is an advantage to us maybe for the weekend here?
I still worry geopolitical risk. Yep, Russia, Ukraine, that's up at the forefront of my concern. And then on October 4th, the Japanese LDP, the ruling party in Japan since the end of World War II, is up to have a leadership vote. So let's see what happens there. It could be significant because right now Japan is kind of rudderless in the political arena, along with France, along with Europe. Well, not necessarily the EU, but France. They do have a new prime minister, but he's having difficulty getting coalition around.
All right, there, Steve. I just somehow did something on my screen. Now I have you. You still there, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Sorry about that. A little technical difficulty here.
That's okay. The BigBeat dropped out and the whole system reverberated.
Yeah, everything bides by him. Q's just went negative. Do want to point that out to everybody watching here. Mr. Flanagan, like you said, geopolitical, still overhangs are definitely in the marketplace. What about the government shutdown? Are you in the same firm camp as Kalshi and Mr. BigBeat that we're in for the long haul?
No, I think it's going to turn probably by the middle of next week. I expect to see it all open again. Whose poll are we watching? I thought it was pretty funny the other day. And again, I'm not taking sides, but to watch Chuck Schumer, say that the New York Times poll showing the Democrats are on the short end of the stick on this is a biased poll. And I just think that they're all out there, pushing their piece of the puzzle. The fact is that the American populace is not happy with our government. And I think, as I talked about Wednesday, this is going to usher in a youth movement. And I think when I look around and I see the youth today, I'm encouraged, not by the purple hairs out in the protest line, but by the overwhelming majority of the youth that are beginning to get more actively involved in the system and in, trying to make a difference. So I am positive on that. I think that next week is going to be a big week. And I am looking for a continued play in the U.S. equity market to the higher side. But I think that the dollar is getting ready to participate in this play.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to give you the final words here. I do believe that, and I am of the same mindset there, except I do think it's going to drag on. I just don't think anyone cares, unfortunately. So we'll see what we get here. Mr. Flanagan, what are the final words for the week?
Two things that I'm looking at. One is Canada. One is the Mexican peso. The dollar is set to close higher on the week on both of those. Now, why I bring them up? Because if you don't want to be in the U.S. and everybody is anti-U.S. dollar, then why would its two peripheral currencies, which is where everybody has parked their money, suddenly start to turn higher? So watch that carefully. Japanese election over the weekend for a new leader of the LDP party is big, and the geopolitical risk is higher than anybody's talking about. So be defensive in your trading today, and I would not be adding in to new longs in the market. Wait for Monday. There's plenty of space to go.
Sounds good, Mr. Flanagan. We appreciate you like always. We are sorry. It looks like we're still having some technical difficulties, but we will be back on Monday in full force, ready to go. Thank you, Quasar Markets. Everybody have a fantastic week.